Hello, everybody. It's February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I want everybody, first of all, to thank Bob for my delicious chocolate covered strawberries that he got me for Valentine's Day. So thanks, Bob. Hey, Gaggy. I already have a question from a viewer. I have it written down, and honestly, I'm going to get to your question in 1 second, Avansh. The guides were talking to me, so I have it all written down. So I'm going to answer it as soon as I get through the beginning, okay? So, like I said, it's February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. Today we are going to discuss the stellium that's going on right now in February 2021. And if you don't know what that is, just stick around. It is all about energy overdrive. And we are, there's planetary things in the space that are aligned and really affecting us on Earth. I also want to talk about what a Saturn return is and how that affects us in our life. We're going to talk about the energy that we are all getting from social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and what that does to us spiritually and at a vibrational level, and what we can do to soften the blow. I'm not saying stop looking at social media. I'm just saying it is affecting our vibration on a global scale, and we need to be aware of that. I also want to talk about Kundalini awakening, something exciting that happened within the past week. I'm going to explain that. Another topic I want to talk about is when you have a loved one who gets sick or is potentially very sick, what that means for us who are watching and what that means for them and why we wrote that into our soul's plan. And lastly, as always, I'm taking viewer questions and answering follower questions from Instagram and Patreon. If you're new here, welcome to the Key to Soul Awakening. And yes, that's key, C-A-Y. It is spelled that way because I live in the Caribbean, and in the Caribbean, a key is a small tropical island. So this is the key of soul awakening. Our community here joins together to help each other on our path to raise our vibrations and align to our soul's will. It's not an overnight process, but it can happen. If you would like a reading with me, just pop your date of birth into the chat box along with your question or just general. It works better in this environment, though, on a live if you give me a question, because that way I can get right to what you're looking for. If you're looking for more of an in-depth session with me, I put all the links above. I pinned them for making a session with me. You can also become a member at Patreon, where I support my clients to a much, much more personal, deeper level. Also, I have group classes coming up. Now, the first session of these group classes is already filled for February and March. But if you go to the link I put register for classes, you can register for classes in April and May. And if you have questions about that, ask me and I can answer them right here for you live. Again, I am Stacie from the Key to Soul Awakening. I'm the best psychic medium on YouTube and probably anywhere that you'll find. I'm glad you found me. I do free readings on YouTube, but that's not really my full gig. What I do is I help everybody with everything spiritual in their life. If you're struggling, it's because there is something blocking you karmically or spiritually, and that's what I help people do. Okay, so if you're here, make sure you like this live stream and you subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell because I go live during the week, sometimes when I have time here on YouTube. I also want to mention that I'm over on Odyssey.com. I found Odyssey just recently. It's a relatively new platform. Hopefully Bob can put that in the chat box for you. It's Odyssey.com, and I gave him the link for my channel. It's exactly like my YouTube channel, and it's going to have everything my YouTube channel has on it, except it offers a little more freedom for content creators such as myself, and that's all I'm going to say, than YouTube does. But it's really cool. They don't censor as much. You can find anybody for any voice that you're looking for over on Odyssey. I haven't had a problem with YouTube, honestly, but I have a feeling, so I'm just splitting my content in two. So go over and follow me over on Odyssey.com, and I think you're going to find a lot of creators you don't see on YouTube, just because they are saying a lot of things that aren't controversial, but may not align with some narratives that are going on. And that's all I'll say. Okay, so I'm over on Odyssey. If you have any technical questions, like why your question isn't showing up, I want you to tag Bob Johnson. That's my husband and my moderator here. So everyone thank Bob for handling all the technical issues. Hey, Gail, how are you doing? Let me take a quick glance here. If you're here, just say hi to me and I'll shout out to you. Okay, I want to open with a prayer before we get started, like I always do. And as I said, it's more important right now than ever to have this psychic self defense, because not only are we at the tail end of Mercury retrograde, we're also in the stellium, which is really cool. Haven't seen it since the 60s, but it also is rocking our world a little bit. So just close your eyes. Everyone take a deep breath. In trust, we are here, divine source, in all that is truth, love, light, positivity, balance, acceptance, and kindness. Requesting information, protection, guidance that is to the highest and best good of myself and all those participating, those watching, and those who will be watching in the future. We ask that the wholeness of myself and all those mentioned, their guides, master teachers, and loved ones in spirit, be here for this transformative assist. It is with the deepest gratitude that we thank you for this now that we are experiencing together. We thank you for the opportunity to raise our vibration together. At this time, I'd like everyone just to send love out into the universe to those who need healing. Amen. Okay. It's always important you do that anytime you actually, it's important you do that every day. But anytime you do something spiritual, what you want to do is say some sort of prayer that asks your guides to put the white light around you. And what the white light does, I jokingly say your guides are like your like bouncers in the nightclub. Like they're going to keep everything out that you tell them to keep out. But if you don't tell them, they're not going to be able to do it because you didn't give them permission. All right, because coming up this week on my channel, I'm going to continue with the life path series. So I've done 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6 this week. And I'm going to go all the way through 9 and then also do 11, 22, 33, and this elusive number 44, which is very, very rare. I'm also meeting with my individual participants of the first group class that's starting next week and continuing with supporting my Patreon clients to align with their soul's will. Speaking of Patreon, I just want to mention everybody who on Patreon, I thank you so much. My media mentees, Tori Torrance, Melinda, all my Manifest and Empower members, Gail, Holly, Lindsay, Lisa, Krithi, Anastasia, Tina, and everyone else, Julie, John, Rafi, Soups on Me, Kelly, Sunil, GMAC, Big Feet 30, Caitlin, Stu 18, and Cindy. What I do over on Patreon is much different than what I'm going to do right here for you guys. So if you have a question, I want you to put your date of birth in and put the question in. But what I do on Patreon is I actually handhold my clients through their issues, through their steps, and I explain to them what karmic blockages are. I also can recreate their blueprints that they created before they were born and explain to them where they kind of went off the rails and how to get back on. It's through a process of sacred geometry, which I found really, really fascinating. I haven't found ever where it's been wrong. It's extremely, extremely detailed for me to do that, though. So I only do it for my Patreon members. If you'd like to become a Patreon member, just head over to patreon.com/thekey and sign up at any tier, which brings me to my top tiers are those full people. I know I have to cap it off. It's so much. I have to cap off my top 2 tiers of Manifest and Empower because I do spend so much time with them. So what I'm going to do is when that becomes full, probably the next couple of days, I'm going to open up a wait list for people who want to be, and it's going to be called Intuition. So for people who want to be on the top 2 tiers, you'll go on to Intuition. It'll be a lower cost. You'll still get services from me, and then you'll be bumped up to the top of the list when there's space open. I did mention the group classes, links at the top, and soul family level I added. If you want to clear your karma together as a soul family, or your friends, it works much better if you do it together. Right, Holly? Okay, I'm going to get to follower questions and then move into the topics we're going to talk about. And if you're new here, I go back and forth, okay? So the first question I have here on YouTube is from Ivanish. Her birthday is April 5th, 1991. I didn't even have to do much for this. The guides just immediately started talking to me, and I wrote down exactly what they said. It said they said to me, your numeric score should never be the goal. And this is the same for money, people. If you focus on money, like if you chase the money will always run faster than you. Same thing for grades. Okay, so you are a highly capable student. Rote numbers will be high, but it's what you will say that will catch the attention of those reading it. And very clearly, my guides gave me the image of a former student I have who's probably one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. She could probably talk the hind legs off of a donkey because she's just so smart and astute, and I get that same vibe from you. What they want you to do is clear your mind. when you go into this test, and just allow source to run through you, and you're going to be perfectly fine. Don't focus on the score. Okay, there's no way you're going to fail. Zero way. But if you focus on that score, that numeric score that you're looking for, it's just going to be that elusive, intangible thing. You need to focus on doing the best you can and allowing source energy to run through you, and that's when you'll get to your goal. If you have any more questions, let me know, okay? All right, I have an Instagram question here. Parents won't let me marry the man I love, but I want to marry him. And before I pull out the cards, I'm only doing the cards for specific questions, and this is one of them I'm going to do because I want more detail. Before I pull out the cards, the guides immediately are telling me there's a reason your parents won't let you marry him, and it is not what you think it is. It is not. There's something about this dude that's like, and I say that I'm dude, sorry. There's something about this man that is just not right for you. And your parents are doing their job as parents to kind of say no. So let me see what the cards are quick saying, okay? All right. Yeah, you're stuck. Okay, they're telling me you're feeling like this is the only man you're going to marry, and it's not true. It feels like this is like one of the first people you've ever fallen in love with, and that's a mighty feeling, isn't it? So what they want you to realize is there's more people out there. There's a better person out there for you. If you can realize within you is stronger than you with him. You are stronger than you with him. That's what they're exactly telling me. So you need to affirm with yourself every day that you are loved unconditionally within yourself and within your family. And when you know that to your core, you're going to project out and bring that person who's going to love you better and is a higher quality. They're actually telling me it's a higher quality person than this one that you want to marry. And I know you know that what that means. All right. Thank you for the question. Okay, I see questions like flying in here. Okay, let me go to Neha from Instagram. Neha's one of my fabulous group member participants for next week. So Neha, want to know if your sister will get married. Okay, 12. Okay. Neha, I'm feeling like your sister is as worried about this as like everybody else is. I think she's worried about this on the outside, but on a very strong person. Let me know if you're here, Neha. Let me know if that is true. I'm going to pull down 3 cards for her. Oh, I see. Your parents are very concerned. Okay. Well, isn't that the truth? Parents, like, I'm a parent, so I can say this. Parents need to know where their boundaries are. Like, and I get it. Like, I worry about my kids too. But when they get to that age of where they can make their own decisions, they really, I'm really, as most parents are going to have to pull back and say, yeah, this is their own decision. And they're doing it because that's how they planned it in their own life path, right? It's looking like she needs to be a little bit more self-disciplined. That she's in control of her own destiny. They're actually saying she's in control of her own destiny and she's a little unself-disciplined. So if she wants to get married, she will get married. It doesn't feel like she really wants to, though. So let me know how clear that is. You know, Neha, if she wants to come into one of our group class too, I would be welcome. I'll welcome her with open arms. So let me know, okay? All right. I'm going to get to one more Instagram question. This one is from Gargi, who's one of my fantastic followers. Love her so much. She has a job interview, so I want everyone to send out good feelings for her this week. She has a job interview this week and would like to know if she's going to bag the job. I feel your energy is really high, Gargi, really, really high. So I think it feels like you're going to do very well. It feels like you're going to do everything possible to get the job. And if the people who are interviewing you are in alignment, it feels like this is the job you should be moving into. And yes, you've heard me say many, many times, Gargi, that if um, you could do everything right, but if that other person is not aligned, okay, then it's not going to happen. If it does not happen, which is a very slim chance, I do see you getting this job. Just understand that you just need to shift just a little bit, okay? Okay, where did I go here? Okay, you're done with the first round. It feels good, Gargi. Feels really does. It really does. All right, I'm going to talk about Mercury retrograde real quick. It's February 14th. We have one more week of this, people. One more week of Mercury retrograde, and then we have about 3 days afterwards in the shadow, which is still going to kind of feel like Mercury retrograde. So if you've been feeling like sluggish, or you've been feeling like you can't really get your message out, you can't really get something done that you want to get done, it's because of Mercury retrograde. Just hang on there. By the end of the month, you'll be just fine. All right, let me move to why does your heart break every time you love someone? Will I be able to find my life if in my life ever? If yes, by when? What I want you to do is understand that it's not them that is breaking your heart, because when we give people the power over our own emotions, and they're actually saying chakra, so your chakra is a little damaged. You need to clear your chakra. Your heart chakra specifically, solar plexus, root's fine, sacral's a little damaged. So sacral chakra, solar plexus, and heart chakra, and because all three of those are like damaged or blocked, you're having a trouble finding your voice. And in not finding your voice, you are not attracting somebody who will be treating you well. It's almost as if you're giving your heart out like on a platter, like, here, take me, love me. And you can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that, people. We can't just give our heart to everybody who shows up. It's that, they have to show respect. They have to prove it to you. It's not like just anybody who looks your way is like a great guy. So the reason your heart gets broken is, number one, your heart chakra is blocked. You need to clear that. Number two, change the way you're thinking that you're not good enough. You are good enough. You're just attracting people who think you're not good enough. And what do they know? Okay. This is a karmic thing with you. In that you chose where you're living in this life, in this lifetime, in this form of life, to teach you your own value rather than the value that people are telling you you have. I feel like there's a ticking clock. You have a ticking clock. And you feel that. So what I want you to do is take some time to clear your heart chakra and get in touch with source and your guides through meditation. And if that still doesn't feel better, make an appointment with me. Links at the top, and I can help guide you through this. Okay. Don't forget to like this live stream and hit the subscribe button with the bell so you know every time I go live. All right. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. Butterfly Jazz. I love your name. Health, family, thanks in advance. Okay. I will do a reading for you. Let's see. Birthday was a couple of days ago. Happy birthday. February. Give me 1 second. Get in the life path. Okay, year 3. You were 3 with a 1. Okay. So you're asking about family, career, finances. All right. I see you being very, very good at speaking, Butterfly. Very good at getting your message across. You're not in the right path right now for the career that you want. Feels geographical. Feels like you're not in the right place, literally, for this career. If you can give me any extra information on that, I would very much appreciate that. Let's see if you give any more. So I'm on Butterfly Jazz right now. Feels like you're not in the right place for a career that you want, but you do have a job, you do have a career, but you're feeling kind of stuck. You also feel I love that your name's Butterfly, because really I do feel like you're very just like, you want to go, but there's something rooting you. Duties. Do you have like the feeling, Butterfly, that you have to stick around out of obligation for somebody else? but it's not necessarily what you want to be doing. That is something, again, as karmic, again, has come up in a past life, and you're in this life to deal with it. Feels parent-ish. Feels it feels generational. Like, oh, this is what I'm expected to do. Um, feels like whatever I'm expected to do. Okay. Like, this is definitely to please your parents, generational grandparents. This is your, like, you're doing something that makes them happy, but not necessarily you. And don't we all get in that trap at times? I can tell you how that worked out for me if we had 3 hours. But let me short this up for you. Nothing we ever do will ever be good enough for people who tell us we're not doing it right. So if on the onset they're telling you, like, oh, you're not doing that right, you need to XYZ, but you know you've done everything you're told, just know that's never going to work out, and know that that is a huge sign, like neon blinking with red flags, that is saying to you that you need to go your own way. Um, I really want to talk to you one-on-one. So if you feel this, because I really want to talk you through this. If you want to talk to me, schedule with me, because this feels like you're at an impasse, and it's like you could either stay here, or you could stay here and be fine the rest of your life, or you could figure out how to get through it and then just fly. All right? So please get in touch with me if you'd like to, all right? All right. Let's see. Who is next? I did butterfly, Avash Kurth. You're welcome, Anavash. If you need any meditations or anything for your heart chakra, message me over on Instagram and I can give you some good ones. I had to do this myself a couple years ago, and it's amazing how light you feel after you clear all of the chakra stuff out. It's amazing how different your vibration feels. Okay, I see different questions. I'm going to come back to that one second. Let me talk about social media interaction real quick, because I know I've been saying this. I'm going to keep saying it. I actually took myself off of Facebook and my private Instagram and all that, because everything has become so toxic. I don't care who thinks what. Everything has just become so toxic that, like, it literally chokes my vibration. I can't even, like, look at things on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever anymore, because everything has become so toxic. And that energy does come through to you. So if you're looking on it on your phone or on the computer, that vibration of whatever anybody posted does come through, and it'll affect your vibration if you allow it. So because I'm an empath and I feel vibrations very easily from the world, we'll just leave it there, I took myself off. I'm not saying you have to do this, okay? What you need to do, though, is understand that protect yourself before you go on social media. When you see things that don't necessarily jive with what you like, please scroll past them. Also, you could also practice with that and just go, I don't like this, but I'm feeling my energy blocking this. I'm not allowing this energy on me, because there's so much negativity that is soaking into everybody else that it's making all of us negative. And we don't need that, right? So you definitely have to protect yourself when you're on social media, because it does come through. Vibrations don't know locations. They don't know physical things. Vibrations get to us from everywhere through everything. So you definitely need to protect yourself. If you're like me and you feel everything everywhere, take yourself off of social media, because it's I can't even tell you that I literally change. Like, my entire mood and everything changes whenever I'm attached to anything that is, utterly negative, and it doesn't have to be. Okay, remember that. All right, so let's move on. Remember to like this live stream and click subscribe for me, please. All right. Sai, birthday. How long does it take to find a relationship? It takes as long to find a relationship as it does for us to realize why we're stopping ourselves. That is the long and short of it. So when I'm going to figure out your life path right now, Sai. When you realize that it's you that's stopping you, and it's nothing else but you and your karmic patterns, it becomes much easier, because then you're able to control it, right? You're able to, and I'm going to get to that word control in a minute. You're going to be able to know that you have the power of your own life in order to get what you want, to manifest what you want. When you realize that no one's doing anything to you, you're getting in your own way. I know that's a big statement, and a lot of people don't like when I say that, but it's the truth. Okay, you're a 1, you're a double 1. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get to this where it's right. I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so you're a double 1. Okay, so what that tells me, Sai, is that you were looking for a relationship literally to like, you might have even written a list. You might have a list in your head. You might have a list on paper. You have a list, and you just know since you write that list, it's going to show up. And surprise, not going to happen. Because this book, The Secret, I'm waiting to get sued, honestly. This book, The Secret, was great, was fantastic, but it did not give us all the information. We can't just like put out in the universe what we want when we are feeling so bad about ourselves, because I can feel it, Si. You're feeling like you're not good enough. You are lacking something, because when you say to me, I've tried everything, that tells me that you feel that something's wrong, something's broken. And the thing is, the only thing you haven't tried is to look inside yourself and fix yourself. Meaning, yep, again, it's the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra area, and those were developed in early adolescence through adolescence, and they were developed into who we are. But when we had people telling us who we're supposed to be in that time between 10 and 18, those chakras kind of get blocked and damaged. And then we go into life thinking we need to be who we're told to be, but feeling I'm this other person. It's a really wild feeling. So when you find a relationship is when you will clear your chakras out and balance your karma. If you're looking for it, if you do that. Okay, so let me say you get off this live stream right now, and then you're going to go work on clearing your chakras. It's going to take, if you clear them every single day for, you're telling me 3 weeks. So you meditate every single day, clearing your chakras, 3 weeks. You're going to balance those out. I have a meditation on my YouTube page. Hey, Bob, can you go over to my YouTube page, because I can't get to it right now, and find the meditation that's guided meditation to balance the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, and the throat chakras, and put that link in there. It's like the top guided meditation. When you do that for 3 weeks, you will feel yourself feeling lighter, and you're also going to face the fact that you have been, I'm getting extremely lightheaded. I'm just going to say it, Sai. My guides have been telling you you've been acting in ways that are unbecoming. And you don't want to admit that to yourself. So what you need to do is, and that's huge, because that's what happens when you need to stop doing that. And understand why you're doing that. Understand that there's a reason there's actions like that, and replace them with positive actions. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Let me get to this stellium. And I have to tell you, I can't believe this is happening, the stellium 2021, right now in the middle of Mercury retrograde. So a stellium is when 3 or more planetary objects are aligned within the same zodiac sign. So we just moved into Aquarius. Everyone starts singing The Age of Aquarius, that song. Okay, we just moved into Aquarius. It's supposed to be a very, very flowy time. We came out of Pisces. But instead of 3, there are 7 planetary objects aligned. We have the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and this asteroid called Pallas. So with all of that aligned, it affects our energy. And we just had a new moon, and we're in Mercury retrograde. Seriously, I need to go in a bomb shelter. Okay, so, and that gets me to what I was going to talk about a little bit. But Aquarius is a sign that it's a wind, like the wind changes, quick changes. All right. So if you're a wind sign, you understand that, like you're breezy wind sign. This 7 planet alignment is something that has effects to change everything that you've had planned. So if you have plans, forget it. Remember that everything changes quickly, like on a dime. You need to let go of the control of these plans. You need to let go. If it happens, excellent. If it changes, be ready. Okay. You need to keep flowing. Okay. Flow is the word of the month. Just flow with it. You need to let go of control. It kind of reminds me of the life path number 5. Where life path number 5 is very into freedom, very, very like they can't be nailed down. They have to just constantly be moving. That's what this energy feels like. It's going to be like the old switcheroo. So you're going to think something's going to happen. So let's take Gargi. And if this happens, you need to tell me, Happy Valentine's Day, Mona Lisa. Gargi, tell me if this happens, okay? I want you to tell me if like you go in for this one job and all of a sudden they switch it on you, or like, hey, you're great for this one. You want this one? That's the kind of stuff that happens, and you just need to flow with it. Okay, anything have to, needs to, shoulds are literally going to be uprooted, and you're going to be stuck going, I didn't know that was going to happen. It's because of this the stellium we're in. The other thing it does is it makes our mental I'll look in 1 second, Bob. It has, okay, I'll get back to, hold on, Bob's over here. I'll get back to you. The other thing the stellium does is that it affects our mental intensity. So we feel stressed, we feel scattered, and stressed and scattered are like opposites, right? But no, like we feel stressed in that we're scattered and we need to get things done. You have this feeling that you must get something done. All right. You just need to go with the flow while it happens. Okay. Go with the flow through all of this until it changes. Don't try to control the outcome of anything until this alignment is over. Okay. 1 second, I'm going to check on one thing for Bob. If you are new here, make sure that you hit the like button and you hit subscribe on my YouTube channel, and you head over to odyssey.com as well, and you follow me there on Odyssey. Yeah, that's it, Bob. That link. Okay. Okay, so that is going on right now, the stellium. Okay, so this hasn't happened to the 1960s, and I just look at it as energy overdrive. Christine Lopes on YouTube, she's a fantastic page on spirituality. What I want you to do is for more information on this, go over to Christine Lopes' page, and I think it's one of her first 2 most recently uploaded videos, and she has a very lengthy video on the stellium we're going on right now. But basically, the message is just flow. I love her Chinese term, wu wei. Wu wei means to flow. Just go with it. Don't try to control it. Okay. Okay. Well, Culpit, nice to see you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get back to where we're at here. I'm going to see who's here, and I can say hi. Then I'll get to questions. Okay. Oh, good, Butterfly. Yeah, make appointment with me. Okay, Gaggy, great. Hey, Culpit. Gaggy, it would give us, yeah, that would be it. When I'm talking about, it gives you this intensity, like, yeah, intensity, and then also the wind. Okay, yeah, I do see that where you'd be exhausted because of all of the feelings that you feel like you must do. Anything you say have to, should to, or need to shouldn't be in our vocabulary anyway, because that's karmic and that's ego. And that is exactly what this alignment is going to do. It's going to uproot everything. Okay. All right, we got that one. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Okay, let me see if I have any other questions before I move on. Why is today gloomy for you, Culpit? Yeah, restless. It's exactly restless. It's restless. Yeah, tell me why today's gloomy for you, Culpit. Okay, I do have a client meeting at 11:30, so I'm going to cut this short, probably about 10 after 11, but I'll keep going as long as everybody has questions. Okay. Speaking of flowing and control, I had a meeting with one of my clients this week, and she asked a very, very good question that I was going to bring to all of you. She was asking I was explaining to her the difference between control and flow. Like, they're complete opposites. So when we try to control situations, okay, so just think about like groceries. Let's make a grocery store. Think about a grocery store. When you go into a grocery store and you have a list and that's what you're going to buy, that's control. Versus go to a grocery store with no list and just flow in with it and buying what you see you need and impulse, that kind of thing. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't go into stores and just go, I don't have a list. Okay. I We'll admit I'm one of those. I need a list, but that's a good like mini version of what the difference between control and flow is in your life. You are going to get, and she gave a really good sample too, where she said about she lives in a country where Wi-Fi isn't exactly readily available. So she was told to do a certain thing to buy Wi-Fi for her phone. And she got there to work, and then she had missed that message. And then she was really, really upset. And she's like, what am I going to do? And then she decided, you know what? I'm just going to let this go. I'm going to figure it out later. And when she got back to her apartment later that night, she found her landlord installing Wi-Fi into her building, even though that it wasn't in her lease. And they don't do that. And I said, that's exactly it. You just let the universe handle it, and it will handle it. That is flow. And then the conversation went to, what's the difference between giving somebody in your life a chance versus control? And I thought that's a very, very good question for us to be asking, because when we give somebody in our life who doesn't feel like they should be in our life, okay, even through duty or choice or whatever, okay, we let them in our life and they don't feel good, but we're giving them a chance, right? I explained to her the difference between giving them a chance and control and flow is if you let that person remain in your life, even if you realize that they're going against your flow of your life and you try to put them in that box of, oh, but they do fit. That's control. Okay. When you realize something doesn't fit, but it doesn't feel good to let go, that's definitely where you're learning your lesson. Okay. Anytime you flow, you have to get rid of, like, think about whitewater rafting. You have to get rid of all the rocks in order to flow, right? If you have any questions about that, let me know. Okay. A culprit. Okay. So you're trying to be positive. Hmm. I feel like you're bringing this lonely feeling upon yourself, and I want to ask you a culprit. Like, if you are missing this person, um, you're basing your entire self, your day, and your positivity upon the fact that this person's not there. Is that fair to you? Is that fair to do to yourself? I mean, can't you be happy and find something to do on your own, rather than attaching it to somebody who needs to be there? That is exactly what I see is going on. And they're telling, I hate when they do this. They're telling me that, it shouldn't matter if he's there or not because you need to create your own positivity. And I think we talked about that before, didn't we, a culprit? Okay, hold on. Let me catch up here. Remember what I say. I'm going to pull the cards out for this one. Remember what I'm saying to you, to everybody. When I talk about, when you have those life challenges, when you're stuck and it's like things feel really bad and, you think, oh my gosh, I got to go back to the way things were when I felt good. But then you realize you can't. Okay. That's where you learn that lesson. You really have to sit and you have to think, what lesson am I trying to learn? What is my soul trying to get me to see here? Okay, culprit. So you're so strong in your life. You're such a strong person. Um, and I don't think you feel that. I don't think you feel that at all. I think you feel that you need to depend on somebody in order to feel stable. And that's not true. Like, I know that's not true because I've talked to you. So, okay, I'm going to put 3 cards down for you, culprit, okay? Okay, I did answer your question in the beginning. I'll get back to that, okay? Yep. Okay, so your center card's talking about a painful end. 10 of Swords. You need to make a clear choice. And your choice really here is a culprit that you need to decide, am I going to stick around feeling this way and it feels like an extended period of time, or if I'm just going to cut the cord and move on and decide I'm going to be happy? You're really giving your happiness out to this person who, you just said you felt like you got punched in the gut. So you need to make that choice. That's what the cards just came up to said. Make that choice right now if you are going to be deciding to stay in this emotional state, or what are you going to do to cut that cord and move on? Because I can't tell you what to do. No one's going to be able to tell you what to do other than that is your choice to make. Okay? Okay. Okay. I answered this question at the beginning. You love someone, your parents are not allowing you to get to marry him. What I had said, the guides had literally said, oh, that was the other one. The guides told me that there's a reason your parents aren't letting him marry you, and it's not the one you think it is. Okay, it's not the one you think it is. It's definitely something more like instinctual that they have going on, instinctual, that they just feel like this is not a good match. And they're right, because there is something about this person that isn't good for you. So what I need you to do is understand that the clock is not like this is the clock thing. I feel like the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. The clock's not ticking. You need to understand that when you finally love yourself, okay, that person will come to you, the person that's better for you. Um, I also felt like this is one of the first times you ever actually felt love. And it's like, I could never feel like I love anybody else as much as I love him. I never feel that. You will, but you need to let this one go. Okay. Um, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I'm talking about this, Colbert. I'm going to talk about loved ones in a second. Okay. So hold on a second. Maybe I'll go down to that real quick. So when a loved one gets sick, what does that mean for us and them spiritually? Okay. So in my family, we were always like, well, there was two camps here. You got sick and you ignored it and did nothing until you got really sick, or you got sick and then, oh no, I'm going to like that was it. I mean, there was no gray area. Okay. You ignore it, and is that it's going to keep coming back because it's a lesson for you to learn. And there are people around you are also learning lessons in that health scare, in that disease that might be there. So when we have somebody who we love has a major illness, okay, or injury, I'm hearing injury or injury, this is meant for us to feel and practice unconditional love. So no matter what we feel about them, no matter what has gone under the bridge, okay, we need to show up and love them. And if we can't show up, send them love, send them healing. But I want you to remember that sometimes these people like have diseases at the end in order to like if they haven't learned all their lessons all the way at the end, they make this major disease at the end in order to learn those lessons and become close to other people still in this lifetime. And what does that mean for us? Let's flip it. This means the same thing for us, is that we need to accept that, you know, they may pass away, but we need to show them the love that's still there, that we still have. Okay. They need to learn to accept the help and love unconditionally. Because a lot of people I've seen, especially recently, who have, long-term illnesses, they're people who generally don't like to ask for help. So they end up planning these long-term illnesses in order to, kind of force them to get help, and they have to accept it. It's not meant for anybody to pity them. It's not meant to, and a lot of people take that, like I have an illness or this person has an illness, and they're very much into pity me. Look how sick I am. Look how much pain I'm in, that sort of thing. That's not what it's meant for. It's meant for you to push harder and try harder into, even though you have this disability or you have this illness, that is supposed to be showing like how strong and positive you can be no matter what. And we are supposed to be giving unconditional love in the same way, no matter what. It's there to learn. So I'll call it, what I want you to do is, rather than feeling sad about this, again, you have a choice. You can sit here and you can like be in this state, which isn't going to help much. Okay. It's really going to take you down. Or you cut the cord and you move on and you're like, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to send love. And that's going to help you, and it's going to help everybody else in this situation. Okay. The reasons they put, illnesses are for specific lessons for people. The general is unconditional love. People plan specific illnesses for specific reasons within their own life plan. And I only can answer that when I know who I'm talking with and what we're talking about. And then I can get more into that. But in general, the lesson is encompassing love for self, encompassing love for others, and no judgment. Because remember, we're not judging anybody. Let's say that they put themselves in this position, right? Why would we just shove them away when they need us the most because they put themselves in this position, right? All right. Let's see. Oh, don't be sorry, Akalpid. Hold on one second. I want to get back to um, Saturn returns and then the Kundalini. Okay. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? No. Gaggy, I'll get back to you in 1 second about that. Okay. I'm feeling very pulled in one direction. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Why am I feeling so pulled in one direction? Hold on. Oh, Kalpit, is this person related to your father? Because I don't think you have to worry either way. And I will explain that to you, or if you want to message me over Instagram. Okay. All right. So when a Saturn returns, this has to do with our blueprint that we made before we were born. Okay. When we're born, the minute we're born, the date we're born, every time Saturn is in one place for everybody. Okay. And it returns within 27 to 30 years in that exact place. So anytime that Saturn returns at age 27-ish is when your life tends to blow up. Okay, that's because you're very close to the Saturn return. You're very close to the spirit energy that you planned. And if you're not on the life path, which most of us aren't by the time we're 27, your life just kind of stops, blows up, something happens to you, and you have this whole karmic choice. And this is what happens in a blueprint that I recreate for my clients is I'll show them. And every single time they're like, oh my gosh, that's where this happened. Or that's where that happened. Yeah, it's because of Saturn return. And what happens is if you don't choose to change right at that time, you move into the next 30 years-ish kind of still working on balancing that same karma in that same kind of humdrum life because you've convinced yourself this is what life is meant to feel like. You convinced yourself that life is a struggle when it's not supposed to be. So then we get to around age 54, age 55, when Saturn returns again, your life is going to have another like kaboom blow up. And you get to decide, am I going to change to my soul's will, or am I going to continue living this humdrum life? Then you get to around age 81, which is generally like the life expectancy-ish of our humans. If anyone who lives past 81 is generally a karmic life. So anyone past 81 is living to balance the karma they haven't done in the past 81 years. And if they're not, if they're one of these blessed souls, these like loving souls after 81, and you just wish you had somebody like this in your life, that's because they've chosen to stay and be this light for everybody else and be the example for everybody else living this high vibration life. So Saturn returns is a big, big deal in our personal birth plans, birth charts, blueprints. And it's something I talk at length about with my clients. And if you want to know more about your personal blueprint, make an appointment with me and I will go in depth and figure out what's going on in your life and how you can fix it. Because there are very clear lines of what happened in specific areas, in specific years of your life where you made a choice. And the choice wasn't the one to stay with your soul's will. And once you know that information, you can get right back on very quickly. So again, if you want to know more information, make an appointment with me. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'm Stacie from the Key to Soul Awakening. And then I'm going to talk about Kundalini, but let me head back here. Did I miss any questions? Any questions? I don't think so. Don't forget I have group classes that are filled up for next month, but you can register at the link above for group classes that are in April and May. And I know those are going to fill up too, so don't waste your time, okay? All right. I don't think I did. Okay, I want to talk about this Kundalini thing. So Kundalini is energy we all have at the base of our spine, okay? We all have it. We're all born with it. And symbolically, it's like a snake, a coiled snake at the bottom of your spine. And it's energy that is awakened when you start to go through this spiritual. Got it. I'll answer that question, my friend. I got that question. I'll answer your question. Okay. Let me get through this. Sorry, my friend just texted me. She's too embarrassed to ask. So I will just answer. Okay. Um, so Kundalini is like a serpent at the bottom of her spine. I'm forgetting the word. It's represented as a serpent at the bottom of the spine. So when a person has cleared and balanced their karma, okay, and balanced all of their chakras, the universe will see that and say, okay, this person is ready to approach life in a more vast way relative to the law of oneness. So the law of oneness means that we're all one, which means every one of you watching, like, you are part of me, I am part of you, because we all came from source. There is no difference between you and I, other than we're just learning slightly different lessons on this lifetime in this lifetime. So when a Kundalini awakens, what happens is this energy, and if it's a good awakening, which means if you are ready to awaken, it will not be life changing or earth shattering, that sort of thing. A lot of people try to take these Kundalini awakenings and force them, which you should never do, because a Kundalini awakening, when you are not ready, will take you bad places. It will turn your life up. It feels like energy zipping up and down your spine. Talk about like mentally unclarity. Like, you shouldn't force a Kundalini awakening before the universe thinks you're ready, because if you do that, you're just it's like jumping into a pit of fire, honestly. Like, you just don't want to do that. So the Egyptians taught their royalty all about Kundalini from a very young age. So when you see pictures with the snake on their hat, that is because when they had that serpent at the top of their hat, that's a note that they already cleared their Kundalini. And that's why Egyptian royalty was looked at as gods, because they had powers. And when you clear your Kundalini, your psychic gifts come awake. You can do all sorts of things spiritually. But so what happened to me? So let me think. A week ago, I had a dream where, like, I had this snake bite my forehead, and I didn't remember it until a couple days later, and I had messaged my friend. I'm like, I really don't understand what this means. And she's like, and she explained to me the whole Kundalini. I was like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? Then the next day, I was sitting here doing work, and I had such a headache, like right here, and I could hardly see. So I laid down in bed, and I started, but I'd wake up a few times. I went to sleep, and all of a sudden, this pressure was right here between, and then it was like pressure tingling straight up to my head, my hairline, and then it spread out. Like, it was like this cool tingly, and then just kind of did. And I mean, I've had a couple pressure behind my eyes for the last couple days, but yeah, I think that's what happened. Is I had this Kundalini awakening with all of this extra energy. I think the stellium had a lot to do with it. The new moon that kind of, when the planets align. Yeah, that's what happened. Now, I've heard of other stories with Kundalini where it's like, they go into this deep, dark depression, and they can't, function because they don't know who they really are. It's because they awakened this energy before they were ready. For me, I'm just really excited because I can actually, yeah, I mean, I feel it on a very much higher level now than I have been, all this energy. Okay, if you have questions about Kundalini, let me know, because Kundalini is fascinating to talk about. All right, my friend wants to know. She'll get it again. All right, we're thinking like actually married. I'm hearing the song "Go into the chapel and where." That's what we're talking about, right? I can give you my answer, but let me see what the cards say. I'll do that. Okay. Yep, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I don't see you getting like actually married again. What I do know of your situation, dear friend, is that you are married for all intents and purposes, and you're placing too much value on, and that's what I'm talking about, Four of Pentacles. You're placing too much value on material things, which mean that dress, that wedding, the marriage certificate. What is that going to change in your marriage? Listen to me. What is that going to change in your relationship by just having all of that? I mean, you have everything you want, right? So is how does getting married going to change that? That's the question that's posed for you. Um, yeah, they all had the serpent in their headdress because it had to do with the Kundalini and the psychic gifts that they. That's why they didn't want anybody in Egyptian culture, the bloodline, because they thought it would dilute their, godlike powers. When really, it doesn't have anything to do with bloodline. It has to do with, opening. Everyone's psychic, opening up your gifts and working to do that. Let me get back to my friend real quick. Dear friend, if you understand what I'm saying, just message Bob and let him know, because I feel like you're also in this control wheel where, you know, something doesn't mean something unless something else happens. When really, I think you're already in a great relationship and you don't need it, other than to feel like you have control over the situation. Um, and I know we've discussed this before that it's not you. So we could talk later, but that's for everybody else too. Like really need to look at your situations and think, what part of this am I trying to control? Which part of this is like the material, the viewpoint, the what everyone's going to see versus where I'm happy? Because a lot of people like live life in order to keep appearances up so everybody else is happy with them rather than actually being happy with yourself. Um, yeah, I mean, and no relationship is ever perfect. Um, Ever perfect, ever. So mm, I'll talk to you, dear friend, soon. Okay. um okay, let me see what else I have. What time is it? Okay, last few minutes. Anybody else have any questions? You can put it in the chat box below, with your date of birth. I have pinned at the top where you can make a one-to-one session with me, learn more about my classes, my group classes, and also join my Patreon memberships. In Patreon, we have my next event with just my Patreon members is coming up. And if you want to be invited to that, make sure you can join any level on Patreon. I also give them exclusive content that I don't put on YouTube. And they're also going to get their first shot at all the merchandise that's coming out very, very soon. So if you are interested in getting to know me more and having more personalized services, Patreon is where to go. All right, let's see. Oh, Kundalini. Gaggy, Kundalini is energy that we all have, and it's like I said, it's at the base of the spine. And Kundalini energy is so encompassing with, I mean, I actually think I activated it a year and a half ago. And this was just the last tail bit of it, because you literally feel like you're living like 3 feet off the ground when you're not allowing any negativity to hold you down. Like I lived many days where I was like feeling like I was floating because I was just so at peace with life and at peace with myself and at peace with everybody. Now, when you get that negativity and it holds you down, that's when you start feeling more in your human body. But Kundalini, in the short answer, is just dormant. How did she put that? Soulful Taz, dormant evolutionary energy, and it's at the base of your spine. And it only can be activated really when you have all of your chakras cleared, all of your karma is getting balanced, and the universe feels that you could move forward in a form of oneness rather than unilaterally looking at tunnel vision for self. And there's a vast majority of people on this planet aren't able to do that yet. Okay. Okay, Gaggy, this energies. Gaggy, I'm getting a bright orange color for you, which generally means there's a lot of energy bouncing around you and this green behind it. Green to me means it's tied to your heart. You're worried. You're very worried. You're worried. And that's where that green energy I'm seeing is coming, Gaggy. You're worried. And I know you told me about your job, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger. So you have all of this, like I keep seeing you on a trampoline. Um, Yay, yay. You have a lot of energy. Yay, yay. But underneath it is this deep seated worry. Um, Gaggy, did you sign up for my classes? I was surprised you hadn't. Hold on one second. Okay, Gaggy, did you sign up for my group class? Because I don't have your name on it. Um, I don't think you did. Because that's going to help you a lot. If you sign up for my group class, okay, I'll message you on Instagram. You're very deep-seated worried about something, and it's coming from karma, and that's why I'm asking you if it is. If it's I had somebody tell me earlier that I should put them down because it's distracting for whoever I'm reading. Sorry. Okay. Okay, take the May slot and sign up for whenever you can, because I want to get you in. All right. Are there any other questions before I go? I'm going to give a blessing to everybody before you go because I'm going to close this out. But before I do that, let me give you one last. Any other questions? My guys just said Bob wants to know if you like the strawberries for real. I do. Thank you. I love you. Uh, I got Bob a hat, by the way, for Valentine's Day. I'm going to write in Bob's hat, just like you do with your kids. I'm going to write Bob's hat. He forgets who he is. Okay. All right. Thank you, Divine Source, for allowing us to be together in this time. I ask that all the participants, myself, Bob, my family, and anyone watching this on replay, go forth in life in unity, kindness, patience, peace, and organization. Thank you for this now that we are experiencing together, and allow my participants, myself, and my family the ability, knowledge, and opportunity to clear their chakras and raise their vibration. Amen. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, make sure you message me. I'm over on Instagram. Make sure you follow me over on odyssey.com as well. And you can email me or make a private session. My schedule is booking up. So make sure if you want to make one, you go ahead and do it right now because I'm booking out kind of long right now at this point. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you next week.